Welcome to Baking with Nadia. Today we're going to be making pumpkin spiced cranberry scones. Halloween is around the corner and the fall season is here, so what better to make delicious pumpkin spiced cranberry scones. And because Halloween is at the end of the month, we're going to decorate some of our scones with cookie cutters in the shape of a ghost or pumpkin, bat, cats, and we're going to use some glaze and glitter to do this. So let's go ahead and begin. We're going to be using pumpkin puree. This is organic pumpkin. We'll be using some cranberries. We'll be using pumpkin pie spice, some all-purpose flour, eggs, sugar. This is frozen butter, baking powder, baking soda, some sour cream, or you can use yogurt. And for the glaze, we're going to use some powdered sugar and some milk. And we're going to use different colored sprinkles to decorate our scones with. The equipment that we'll use are a wired whisk, wooden spoon, fork, a regular teaspoon, a wooden rolling pin, a silk pad or parchment paper, and a couple of half-sheet trays. We're going to use a bowl to mix our things in, a grater like this. We're going to grate the butter, the frozen butter, and some of our cookie cutters in different shapes. So our first step is we're going to take our frozen butter. I've kept it in the freezer overnight and it's become frozen. We're going to go ahead and grate our butter just like this. It's easy and simple. Some people cut their butter in cubes and then freeze them, but I feel like it's easier to blend the butter with the flour and dry ingredients easier when it's frozen, and I just go ahead and grate it like this. It's simple and easy. Okay, I'm done grating the butter, the frozen butter, and it looks like this. And right now I've gone ahead and turned on our oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit to get that going. And now we're going to combine our flour with our butter. We'll pour our flour in, and we'll pour our dry ingredients in here too, like that. This is my baking powder, baking soda, and pumpkin pie spice, and we'll just go ahead and mix it all up. Okay, so our dry ingredients of our flour and baking powder, baking soda, and our pumpkin spice pie is in here. Now we're going to add our very cold or frozen butter to our flour mixture. And then we're just going to go ahead and combine all of that together. So now you get just fine little pieces of butter mixed with your flour. And this is how it should look. And next we're going to go ahead and beat our eggs. And we'll add our wet ingredients to our mixture. Bigger bowl. And our pumpkin. Mix that. You can either use yogurt or sour cream, whatever your preference is, and this will help your scones be nice and moist. Do that. And the sugar, I'm going to go ahead and add it to the dry ingredients now. Just mix it with my wooden spoon. And I'll make a little well like this, and go ahead and add. Now we're adding the wet ingredients to the dry. Cranberries also. And we'll just mix it all together. Okay, we've sprinkled some flour on our countertop, and I'm just going to transfer the dough onto the flour. The flour will help with the sticking process, not to stick as much. And as it gets sticky and it's sticking to you, just add a little bit more flour to your dough. Okay, we've kneaded our dough a bit, and now I'm just gonna grab little balls of the scone dough and make little balls, and then I'm gonna go ahead with a rolling pin, roll it out, and make cookie cutters out of it. But first, we're gonna go ahead and take a little bit of the dough, and I'm gonna go ahead and a little bit more, just make little balls out of the scone dough and put it on our sill pad, just like that. And then we'll roll out the dough and make the shapes. But first I want to just make a few round scones just like that. So I'm just making little round balls, and then I'll lay it on the sill pad and I'll press down a little bit with it with my hand to flatten the scones like that. Okay, we're gonna go ahead now and roll this dough out so we can use it for cookie cutters, cut out some like shapes. So let's roll it out. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of powder here so it doesn't stick. Just roll it out like that. And then we'll take our pumpkin cookie cutter and go ahead and press down like that. And then place it on our tray. I'll turn the tray this way. And then go ahead and put your cookie cutter in some powder so it doesn't stick. For this part where we're using the cookie cutters to cut out shapes, if you didn't want the cranberries in the dough, you could just separate the dough in half and add cranberries to half of the dough, and half of the dough wouldn't have cranberries. It's sometimes easier to get the nice shapes of the pumpkin or bat or ghost or cat out. Okay, we're going to use a cat cookie cutter now, and I'm just going to dip it in the flour so it doesn't stick and press down like that. And there we go. Just put it. And now I'll just go ahead and gather all this together, and we'll roll it out again and make more shapes. Okay, I've got a ghost cookie cutter now that I'm going to go ahead and cut out. like that. And we can do one bat. Let's do it right here. Now I'm just going to gather my dough up again and knead it and use the rolling pin to roll it out again and then redo the cookie cutter shapes again. So you just repeat this until you're out of dough. Okay, our oven is at 400 degrees Fahrenheit now, and we're ready to put our baking cookie sheets into the oven with our scones. So let's go ahead and do that. And these will cook approximately between 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, the scones are ready to come out. They've been baking for about 23 minutes and they look great. Our scones look beautiful. They're out of the oven. I did not glaze any of them, but you can do an egg glaze or egg wash on top of them to make them look maybe a little bit shinier. Next, we're going to be making the glaze to put on top of the scones. And it's very simple. It's just powdered sugar and adding some milk to it. And the more milk you add, the less viscous the glaze will become. So it's all up to you how viscous you want it to be, or a very light, thin glaze. And you can just take it and drizzle it however way you like it, just like that. And you just let it dry and it's ready to eat. Okay, we're ready now to glaze our pumpkin, bat, and cat, and then we'll put the sprinkles on the glaze. And we can take the pumpkin and do the top first, and then sprinkle a little bit of our green sprinkles on it like that. And then we can glaze the rest of the pumpkin just like that. And we'll take our orange sprinkles and sprinkle it on like that. And I just got the idea of decorating it from this cookie cutter picture that is here. So for the ghost, you can put eyes and a mouth. For the cat, you can put eyes and whiskers and a nose and so forth. So I'm gonna give the cat eyes, and I'm just gonna dip the sprinkle. Oops. This could be a little tricky. Let's try another one to get it to stay on. There we go. This one worked good. you've made your icing, and I want to add some coloring to it. This is black icing color. So I'm just gonna take a little bit, my spoon, and make the icing black. I have a little bit of parchment paper, and I'm gonna take it and just turn it like this and keep turning it, and it's going to become a tool for me to write with, just like that. And you can put a tape right here to tape it, and then fill in your icing with it. Okay, our apparatus for icing is ready. We're going to go ahead and put our icing. If your icing is too liquidy, you can add some more powdered sugar to it. If it's too thick, you can add some milk to it. And we'll go ahead and add it like this. And then we're just going to go ahead and write on our grave site. So we'll close it up like this. And I'm just going to cut the tip a little bit. Okay. And I'll just write R. There you go. It looks beautiful. R.I.P. for rest in peace. Our pumpkin spiced scones are all made, and they look beautiful. Please go to my website at www.bakingwithnadia.com to get the full detailed recipe. And let's go ahead and have a taste of one of these scones. Look how beautiful they look. Oh, they're delicious. They're moist and rich in flavor of pumpkin spice, and absolutely delicious. Thank you so much for joining me with Baking with Nadia, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.